Hello, all of you spacefaring beings out there, and welcome to the stream. I am Razim, and we are using the TF Talkie today. But we're going to be doing Cosmoteer.
Space adventures, woo.
Yes.
And have to tow around your freaking space truck.
Ah,
Space
yes,
truck
the
stuck.
space truck.
Space truck tuck.
We have very much. What's up?
I'm just seeing already what potion people want, which is funny.
I mean, you guys can go for whatever TF you want. You don't have to go with what the group wants.
And the best part is that the space truck actually kind of fits us like a name because it's about as pretty, it's about as maneuverable, and it's about as, I guess, safe.
Excuse
Cybertruck?
me.
What?
That thing is very maneuverable.
No, I was gonna say it's kind of like the Cybertruck, except unlike that thing, it actually like works. It
Yeah.
just basically it's about as good as a really shitty truck, except it's actually good.
I don't think it matters what you say after the part of it's a kind of like a Cybertruck.
Look, just because I'm insulting it doesn't mean I can't praise it.
That sets the bar so low that anything else you say does not matter.
It
It's a
looks,
Cybertruck.
look at the way it looks. It's horrible. I'm sorry, Sid. But like, unlike that abomination, it actually has a little bit of charm to it. I kind of love it.
Hey,
I want one, but I don't
Sniffle?
want to deal with one.
no matter what,
You made like the dream Amazon delivery vehicle.
Sniffle.
on a
And I love it. You remember Star Sector? I think you played it for a little bit.
No.
Darn. Another space game. You can get like basically the equivalent of a shipping like boat, like one of those like big super cargo container ships, but like as a spaceship, and it literally looks like one. It's disgusting and it's useless in combat and it's incredibly slow. But if you want to haul a lot of garbage around, it's perfect. And it's just like it's the equivalent of this. I love it. It's so good. I used to have a fleet and I had like 5 of them just to haul around everything I could, and then I realized it had way more space than I could actually use it all. So I just dumped all but one of them.
Sniffle. Hi, Sebsek.
You sniffle, but you know secretly you're proud of making it a big flying box.
Sniveling.
Sniffle.
Happy sniveling.
Alright, look, I'll retract my comment if you can jump from one side of the solar system to the other in one go. How about that?
I mean,
Yeah.
you always can.
Really?
Yeah.
Doesn't it cost like a trillion more if you don't have like a proper coverage? Or like enough range?
I mean, it costs a more, but it's still a single jump.
What's the cost? Like how much would it cost?
175 over to the other side.
How many hyperspace things do you put on that thing?
Not enough. I'm only at like 50%. Oh, 66.
Okay, but considering the size of that thing, that's actually really good. Oh my gosh.
I make decently efficient ships. They're not as bad as you say they are.
I am saying it's good. I just wouldn't say it looks pretty or it's very maneuverable. Once it runs out of booster energy.
Yeah,
You can't
it
even
running
argue.
out of energy is a bad thing, but the only reason it's running out of energy is because it's lesser. Well, okay, it's a little over half full on crew.
I mean,
If it were
why not
fully
put some more-
crewed, it'd be fine.
Why not place some engine rooms instead of like relying on the reactors?
The engine rooms don't work with the thrusters, or the ion thrusters.
Oh, correct. Yeah, that's a skill issue there. Yeah, it's just... It's a ship I would build, and that's the worst insult I can hear. It looks like something I'd build.
Why are you trying to insult me so much?
I'm insulting the ship, I'm not insulting you.
No.
But I love
I'm the
it,
one
that's
that
thing.
built it!
Okay, but like, do you relate it to your personal sense of self-worth?
Yes! I built it!
Oh, see, that's the mistake. That's what you gotta not do, because then you look at it and you go like, this is great. But then like, you zoom in and it's like, this is box. And it's what I would build. That's why I'm like, I love this, because this is what I built. I literally built something like this at some point. The only difference is I put a railgun in the middle, and I made it like skinny, and I just made it a giant railgun. It was just a big stick, and it was horrible, but it was so fun.
I like my ship.
I mean, I can't blame you. I want something like this. It's like, you know, in Subnautica when you can get the sea truck. It's like that, but literally.
I don't know if I like where you're going, what you're insinuating with that statement.
Nothing. I love the sea truck. Like, see, the thing about like Below Zero is that like it removes a lot of the things and it just gives you a sea truck. And at first it's like, oh, I want the sea moth back. I want the Cyclops back. Like, well, I want all these cool things back. Why do I have to stick with the sea truck? This is terrible. And then it grows on you, and it's like, I kind of love this thing. It's like, it's garbage, but it's my garbage. And it's not actually garbage. But like, I keep thinking of it because I keep comparing it to everything else that I've done. It's like, I kind of hate this, but I love it.
The cash. Wait, Prakash, why did you leave?
What's about to happen? I'm
Oh,
sensing something.
your window's blue screened. Why did you leave the voice? Come back!
The Windows blue
Keep Caps
screen.
being mean!
Look, if you want me to praise you, I will praise a very excellently designed space-efficient space truck. But I hate trucks. I like boats though, and this is a cargo boat, and I can respect the cargo boat. See, like that's the thing, right? Like, I hate trucks because I have to deal with them whenever I drive to work, and I hate dealing with them. There's nothing more infuriating than when you're on the highway and there's a truck driving on the fast, like on the leftmost lane, on the fast lane, and then on the lane next to that, there's another truck driving right next to it, and they're like sticking together, and you're like, why?
Yeah, there's a word for that in German.
Which is?
It translates into elephant racing.
It feels like that. I hate trucks so much.
You hate trunks?
Trucks.
Trucks.
Yes. Trucks should not be allowed on the road.
Beep beep.
And if you're gonna say where else are they gonna drive, exactly. I hate trucks.
Trucks you talk about just like basic trucks or
Yeah, just trucks in general. I hate trucks. I have to deal with them when I drive and they're always terrible. The only good trucker is a trucker that gets out of the way, which honestly, not even in a bad way, I respect because yes, hello, I feel like that's what you're supposed to do on the highway. If you're driving like your big multi-ton monstrosity, don't stick right next to another one. Why would you do that?
Because
Yeah,
unfortunately you have speed regulators.
Okay, but like you just drive behind that other truck. Or in front
Because
of
you're
it.
on a time schedule.
They're going the same speed. That's what I'm good.
Yeah.
Like, if they're moving around, like, okay, I can kind of dig it. And that's usually what, like, eventually they do. Sometimes they'll, like, eventually move over, like, one gives way to the other one. Because they're keeping the entirety of traffic behind them. And I guess one of them goes, like, okay, fine, and gives up. But it
There's
just
one-
takes them so long.
One truck will have a speed limiter that's, calibrated for 0.1 miles per hour faster than the other. And so that's as fast as they can go.
It actually
Yeah,
genuinely feels like that.
Because before they could drive at the speed because they were literally told get there and for it. Now it's like, well, no, too many accidents. They were crushing Hondas and making people in Teslas feel small. So here's your limiter, and now your deliveries take 18 extra hours.
Well, okay, on one hand, it's good that trucks can't drive a gazillion kilometers per hour because, yeah, like, I don't think trucks driving at like 130 kilometers per hour is probably a good idea. Probably not 100. Trucks are big. And pair that not just with like trucks needing to go fast, but then you're starting to push like newbie truck drivers into doing that. And it all becomes a recipe for disaster really, really quickly when you're pushing inexperienced drivers to drive as fast as they possibly can to make the delivery on incredibly tight time schedules. Like, yeah, it's just, you're begging for accidents to happen.
Yeah,
But,
that's the price supposedly we're willing to pay for our instant donuts and our hash browns.
Yeah, so you mean like Amazon drivers, right?
Yeah.
But like instead of just Amazon drivers, we're talking like the 18-wheelers, not like the intercity delivery vehicles.
See, I'm here now to help defend you, Zim.
Hooray! GitGab was bullied.
Okay, you can't blame me. You have a very bullyable face. You should turn it into something less bullyable.
Gib Gab.
You guys
You're
get the
asking.
ability to do that.
Yeah, well, someone should turn you into like a less bullyable face.
Gib Gab, you're just asking to get hit.
Oh well.
There, see? It's a better face now.
Yeah, that's better. Just a little bullyable.
Better-ish. Well, you could help too. I had to donate some points to the cause, the shape-shifting cause.
Well, I donated like 10,000 points earlier. I donated 2,000 to the community challenge, which is still pending. We can raise more points. And I donated the rest to throwing purple sticks at them.
And I just got a Wendy's commercial. I guess it knows that someone's got the hungy, and it's like, here, have some nuggies.
It's okay. Rex is cooking. I will have
Soon
food
you will be
soon.
saved.
That reminds me, I don't think I've eaten today. I should probably do that.
That's not a good point. I haven't eaten dinner. I should
Yeah.
eat dinner.
Jeez, you people! I'm gonna have to set food timers for you all.
Well, okay, look,
You're all setting off poor Pakesh here.
Look, I
Prakash.
ate a good lunch, and to be fair, I rushed back home, and I wanted to play Barrow, and then I wanted to play 7 Days, and I keep thinking I should get up and make food, and I just keep forgetting.
Okay, so Pikesh, in my mercy, it is 2 in the morning. I have food that is next to me. I have stuff all set up. Don't worry, I have stuff to eat when I'm hungry.
Yes, but you guys get sucked into these games, and it's oh, it's the day star. I have to go to bed. I'll hungy tomorrow, and it's like,
I wish I could do that. No, I have to go to work tomorrow, and they have like meetings and important events, and I don't want to do any of it. Bleh. Still haven't gotten hired. Finally, manager decided to finally meet with the CIO, and now manager just needs to meet with HR.
Hey there, Lurk.
hey, lurk. Yes, I'm gonna have to start setting dinner clocks for some of you people. Bad.
No.
Hey, normally I eat too much. I need to eat less.
Well, I haven't eaten all day. Does it still make it dinner or is it breakfast?
It depends. When does the day start for you? As in, when do you wake up after sleeping?
Oh, 12 hours ago.
So, probably dinner.
Do I?
See, this is why I get people going. It's like, look, can I hire you to cook? Like, I get a little forgetful. It's like you get more than a little forgetful. Like,
Can I hire you to cook?
It's like I'll have to start making lasagnas and sell them to folks like you, so you just throw in oven, cook, eat.
Yes,
Honestly,
please.
Oh, don't worry. I have a lasagna in the freezer.
I'm gonna.
It's still more effort than I want to put in.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that honestly, I genuinely think one of the biggest reasons why like nutrition and eating is so hard sometimes nowadays is because I fully believe that, like, think about it this way, right? For a lot of history, people lived in more communal settings, and actually, to be fair, cooking was a lot more communal. Like, you would have like families eating their kind of thing sometimes, but then you would have like a lot of days during the week, a lot of days during the month, where like people would gather together and they would cook and eat a big meal together. And people would take home a bit of the leftovers, this thing and that thing, and like, sure, I could cook my own meal, and so could like 10 people, all of us cook our own meals. But it's very different when, 3 people cook for 10 people, like, oh, the 2 grandmas and this mother, they all decide, hey, we're gonna make a nice meal and blah, 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 and bam, 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 and everyone has food for like 3 days for the week, and suddenly eating is a lot easier. And I think about it, and it's like, that's like, just doesn't exist anymore in this way. Like, back home in Minnesota, we would do that. Like, we would just like, we would have a lot of leftovers, and sometimes we would share as a family, and, oh, look, I made you arepas, go take them home, or hey, like, I made you a big thing of soup, go and take it home, and eat this food for like 2 days of the week. But then when you're expected to cook for yourself all the time, every week, day after day, it genuinely gets to people, and I think returning to like a more communal setting in that aspect would be really helpful. Because like, imagine just living next to friends, and like, your friend just goes, hey, I made a bunch of things and I have some spare, do you want these leftovers? And it's like, yeah, sure, extra food. Or they're making a big meal and they go like, hey, do you want some? And yeah, here, I'll make you a plate.
So on Sunday, I went to a birthday party, and I now have a bunch of like leftover taco stuff in my fridge.
Yay.
Yes.
But it still requires like putting it together,
Okay, well, that's a skill issue. Putting it together is easy. That's a you problem.
Yeah, I will side on that. It's like, that's an easy thing to do.
Is taco. Yeah, open shell, cook, reheat meat, throw in, inhale.
Beans, rice, meat, cheese, tortilla. Yeah, no, I have all of it sitting in there. I should probably go put that together, but that requires like getting up and doing it.
The effort is the side where it's most difficult.
Exactly.
You guys are terrible.
I actually think the hardest part about like making food isn't the effort to do it, it's trying to decide what to eat when you have options. Or you're just sitting there like, what do I want to eat?
I feel like it's more a matter of just like, everybody's got depression, and it's like, that is effort.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
It's the low spoons.
That's a hard part. That's the
Yeah.
point. Still, I do think like if we lived in like a little more tight-knit communities, it would be so neat to be able to like help each other out with cooking.
It would be. Definitely would be beneficial to a lot of people.
Uh-huh.
Like for me,
so, like,
when there's many times where I am just too low spoons to go cook, and well, that's why I've got Rex here now. He takes care of that for me, and I actually get food.
Oh,
There's been a
cooking a good
couple
meal.
of times where he's low spoons, and I've gone and cooked for him.
Cooking a good meal for yourself isn't that much easier than cooking a good meal for like 4 or 5, 6, 7 people. So
That too.
right.
if you have the spoons, make it for everybody, and then everybody else can take a break.
And it's like doubly so even on the economic side, it's so much cheaper for like 7 people to make a meal together than for 7 people to each cook dinner like for themselves. Save a lot of money. Like
That's why I like cooking in bulk.
Yeah, like it's the whole meme of like, yeah, you need to be poly to afford to survive in the modern economy, but like unironically, and I genuinely think it's because fundamentally like the economics have changed a lot over time, but like our society is still built to handle people living together, and like the isolation we experience nowadays is genuinely the reason part of why everything has become so unaffordable. Because like, yeah, when every house is like really far from everything, and you live in like the suburbs where there's nothing close to you, and it's just house after house after house. But each person is their own self-contained world with their own self-contained expenses, and everything is being like put on each person. You suddenly have to maintain so much more by yourself, for yourself, and society has to maintain so much more for you to live that lifestyle. Whereas like, oh, I live in an apartment with 200 other people. Yeah, this single block apartment can sustain like a nearby grocery store easily. Whereas otherwise you need 200 houses to sustain that grocery store. It's, you know, it's just a little bit it's a little harder.
It's why I cook for me and the roomie, because, you know, economy of scale, and he is handicapped, so someone has to.
But Gib Gab, you're starting to sound like, you know, communism. We can't have that.
Yes. I am, in fact, a filthy socialist.
Oh, he wants Gibbonism.
Yeah. I'm gonna
Oh,
get
no,
canceled.
not Gibbonism.
But I'm gonna pull the secret card that I'm from Minnesota, so therefore I can say anything I want.
And it sounds like I need to get a lasagna to a certain Duke.
Actually, I haven't had lasagna. I haven't had lasagna for
Well, that's mostly just because I love lasagna.
lasagna.
Yeah, this turned out so nice. Ugh. Pizza mozzarella is lovely.
Mm.
This is gonna be dangerous. We're gonna save so we can save scum.
Save scum. Oh no.
See, that's...
But yeah, as I posted in chat, when you guys get low spoons and the depression and you need some kindness, you know, I'm always around.
Also, Zen, really quickly, I do, like, here, I'll be nice to you, and I will say that I really respect you for just openly safe scumming. It's so annoying when people pretend to not safe scum, but they're so clearly safe scumming. It's like, why? Like, there's genuinely nothing wrong with it. Like,
It's a single-player game. Play it how you want.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I will always be a massive supporter of enjoy the game however the hell you want to enjoy your game. As long as you're not, you know, it's kind of the same way that with, you know, more adult things. Enjoy what you enjoy, just don't hurt anybody with it.
yeah, look,
In a real way, I do not count you being offended over TF existing to as a thing, to, you know. I have seen people that get up in arms over TF, and it's like, no, you're not hurt.
how about you TF into not a snowflake? Dab.
Yep, into peoplegetfood.com.
I will say, like, there is, like, because I had a chat with with a couple of friends these days. Just, okay, so, like, sometimes I'll admit I'm really torn, because, like, I believe that you experience what you want to experience the way you want to do it. Like, especially for games, you know, like, for example, there's nothing wrong with modding games. I love modding games.
Yeah.
But sometimes there's something interesting to be said about the way something is intended to be experienced in an artistic form. Like, so on a game design level, for example, why does this feature work this way? Why does this work that way? Because, so for example, weapon degradation can be annoying.
Hello,
Depends on
Pirate
context.
Stronghold, that we are absolutely vaporizing.
And we're like, this might be dangerous, and then I just, like, oh, it's melting. It's even, you're even making it spin. Like a
I don't
joke.
know.
I
Your
haven't-
shields are taking a few hits. You might have to save scum it.
Usually these things are a lot more difficult, and with the cloud, I couldn't get a view of the freaking thing. So that's why I was concerned, but,
Have you put sensors on your ship?
yes, but these clouds are new, and they reduce your ability to actually... Your sensor capacity is reduced to like 50 or 25%, somewhere in that range.
thinking.
Yeah. It's aggressive.
Yeah.
I hear happy clinking noises behind the Zim.
Yes, there is a raptor preparing to save me from my own inabilities.
You're all good beings, and you all deserve, mental support. So low spoons, if you want to, come get some free hugs.
Just
This thing is literally just a ball of guns. And it's already dead.
I mean, look, you can't judge it if it works, okay?
Well, it didn't work because it didn't even get through my shields.
And you're allowed to judge it. I
You're
still
all
think you should make
precious.
a railgun ship, just so you can just sneak up the big ship and then just oh look, there's the core. Zoom, it's dead.
Oh, that might be a problem.
Ah.
Oh, never mind. They don't have the energy capacity in there to keep it going. I'm fine.
We'll make a nice taco pizza lasagna for the Duke Duke. Would you like pepperoni in there?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Hey, Prakash, salami or
Also,
pepperoni?
fuck you for talking about that and making me more hungry. In the kindest way.
Hey, I'm the house bitch. I mean, I generally like cooking and cleaning and trying to keep the place functional. And you were gonna say something, Gib Gab, before you got interrupted?
Pepperoni or salami?
I could do either.
Which do you prefer?
Pepperoni, honestly.
Okay. Fair enough. At least you made the correct choice.
The pizza mozzarella for the tops is just, oh wow.
Yes.
We hit the farmer's market last week, so it was the farmer's onion and pepper, so like really nice.
Is this what you're strategy? Are you trying to talk about food to make me want to go get food?
That's
Yes.
I'm in the same position here. It's like, I was trying to forget about having to get up and eat.
Yes, because then it
Okay,
keeps you
well-
healthy.
No, you know what? I'm gonna go on my side tangent and I'm gonna distract myself from it. If you can remind me to it after, then boom, there we go. We'll make a deal. Okay. So okay, here's my tangent on game design. Okay, so
Keep
Think
going
about
on a 12-hour tangent.
yes. So okay. So here's the thing. I talked to a couple of friends about it, and then someone made me think more about it. So now my brain is rattled. I need to get it out, and I need to I've been overthinking it. Okay. So here's the thing. With game, right? Game design important. Game developer make game a certain way to get a certain result. I brought up the example of weapon degradation. Why is it important? You put weapon degradation in a game like Skyrim, and honestly, it kind of sucks. Because, oh, I like using this weapon. Oh, I have to be careful about using this weapon in an otherwise very easygoing, action RPG. That's kind of sucks, because, now I don't want to use it, but I want to use it. So, do I use it at the right moment? Do I have that inventory management? Blah, blah, and it kind of gets clunky. Or in a game like Bloodborne, weapon degradation sucks, and there's literally no reason for it to be there. It's super easy to handle, it's super easy to manage, but occasionally you forget about it for 2 seconds, so your weapon breaks, and it's like, oh, well, that's not cool. And it's just kind of tedious and annoying. But then you put it in the game like Minecraft or 7 Days to Die, and it makes sense, and it works. And so, the reason I mention this is because something I find interesting about modding is, in a way, a lot of times it serves to customize an experience to what a player wants. And sometimes I wonder if that's a good thing, because generally speaking it's good. I want modding to exist. I think modding, even on a very basic level, for accessibility options, modding is amazing. Zero questions about it. There are so many games that are made playable to people who could otherwise not play it, be it because of physical disabilities, be it because of PC issues, be it just PC issues is well different. If you have top of the line PC, you can basically play any game. And there are some games where you genuinely need to mod them to make it accessible because they're just poorly optimized. The performance sucks. Yeah, fair enough. But getting into like mods more specifically that change the core experience of a game, I think there's always an argument to be made about the artistic side of a game, where if you want to treat a game properly like art, when you mod it, you have to be aware of what you're changing. There are some games that are designed to be a particular way. Whether you enjoy it or not, the game was kind of made that way for a reason. And I think it's interesting to sort of think about why it was made that way. Because sometimes I think we kind of carelessly add mods sometimes, and it sort of leads into like, okay, but like, what are you kind of giving up in terms of the game experience? Because there are games where like, I've sometimes thought, maybe I should mod this in or out. But then I play the game and it makes sense. I may not fully enjoy it, but it's clear to me what the game is intended to do, what's the goal behind it, what's the vibe behind it. And that matters, I think, at least to some extent. And sometimes developers make concessions that players want to change. And I think it's fair. But a lot of times, it comes from players who are very experienced at the game. So they've already played the game. They know what they like about the game. They know what they don't like. And I think it's usually fairly good practice to at least play the game before modding it. What brought about this whole thought is like, there's a...
So, from my view on this, I don't really... Like, yeah, there are parts of modding games that is exactly what you said. However, on the flip side, there's also the simple argument of just wanting more. Because, like, Project Zomboid, there's a lot of things that you can't craft. You can't craft a lot of things in there without a mod. And it's like, it's fine for that to be the developer's intention, but you want to play more, and well, there's only so many tires to go around, so you get a mod to let you craft tires. On the other end of it is, like in this, I just wanted to experience the game in a new way. Thus, here I am running around with the Star Wars mod.
But that's kind of it though, because like, well, twofold things in here. Like for one, it's that the game is early access, it's unfinished. Like I have no doubt that a lot of Zomboid sisters are gonna get fixed with updates. Because they are. I've read through like a bunch of the updates, and a lot of mods will just become unnecessary because Zomboid will add either support for these things or it'll add them directly. And same for Cosmoteer. Like Cosmoteer is super early access. If Cosmoteer had like 10 years more development, you would probably not be modding it nearly as much. And
even then, I barely modded it at all.
Right, you just added a Star Wars mod. But like, it still gets back to what I said, which is, I think, to some extent, it's still useful to have played the game before you mod it.
Yeah.
Because I kind of put myself in these shoes, right? Like, because I had someone explain it this way to me. So, like, what I was saying, what brought about the argument is a friend of mine wanted to play Star Sector, and I encouraged him, hey, try it at least, like, without mods, see what you like and don't like about it. And he was adamant about, like, no, I want to mod it, because I want to, like, get more out of what I play through it, you know, like, I don't want to waste my time needing to play it before modding it, like, I just want to mod it and make it a good experience the first time before I play it. And I kind of sat there and I thought about it, and it's like, that bothered me, but I couldn't quite place why, and then it kind of hit me that it's like, he's fundamentally already thinking that modding is what needs to be done to make a game good. Like, the game isn't good without mods. And so, for example, for Zomboid is already a really good game.
Mm-hmm.
But you mod it to get an experience out of it that the game doesn't give you. But at the same time, if I was to hop onto Zomboid for the very first time, and I saw like a mod that turns Zomboid into basically Left 4 Dead, but like, you know, with the isometric, and that's my only experienced playing Zomboid, and I go like, oh, I really want to play a game like Left 4 Dead 2. Like, I loved playing that game, so I'm gonna put it in Zomboid because people say mod the game to how you want to play it, and then I feel like that would make sense. But wouldn't you kind of lose playing Zomboid? Like, it's a very different experience from Left 4 Dead 2.
I can definitely see where you're coming from on that. But
Right.
I will one thing I will very much firmly say, mod support should be in every game.
I mean, yeah.
What about food support?
Oh no.
I will get you all to eat.
I mean, food is on its way on my end, at least.
I have.
But the main reason why is it increases a game's longevity. Skyrim would not have been released as many times as it was. Like the Factor hate it. But it would not be where it is without mods.
True.
You know, it allows a game to outlive what the developer originally designed.
Oh, look at a game like Factorio. Like the base game on that. I mean, it's good for one playthrough. Maybe for a second. But it's all the mods that keep it going.
I mean, I know what you mean. Like, I love modding. Like, you saw the mod pack I built projects on, but I love modding. But I've honestly thought on that too, and it's like, does it? Because like, case in point, I love Outer Wilds. One of my favorite games. That game, like, I've recommended it to a lot of people. A lot of people haven't played it, and it makes me sad, and I want to make them play it, but I can't, and I cry. And I think about it, and sometimes I think to myself, what would I want modded in this game? Because unless I'm looking for like a very particular fix, like, oh, this doesn't work on my machine because of this and that, like, I want to fix it. Or I have this kind of disability and the game doesn't have support for it, I want something there. Which I think is fair. I sometimes think of it, it's like, what would I change in that game? Because I almost feel like changing the game experience sort of ruins the whole point of it. Because like almost the entire game is built in a very particular way with like a very specific view, very specific vision, and changing it would like no longer be the game. Like, oh, let me change Outer Wilds. I want to mod it so there's no longer a time loop. Like, I guess you could do it. I don't know, it almost feels like weird. And sure, you could go like, oh, I want to do it so I can explore freely once I finish the game. Yeah, but like you already have explored everything before I finish the game. In fact, we should encourage people to like kind of do that implicitly if you're talking about supporting people who are playing it for the first time. And so like, in some ways I kind of see what you mean. And from that perspective, I almost think like, it depends on the game and what the studio wants. From the other, it also just comes down to the fact that not every studio can afford to put money support, and it's a really hard thing for some games. So, it kind of depends on what the game is, too. Zomboid is really easy for modding support. It was built in that way. Some games are kind of harder.
I will definitely say that it's not hard to add in mod support. It is generally a matter of the studio just doesn't want it. Because whether they... Like, imagine if The Sims had proper mod support. They would not sell any DLC.
Okay, but The Sims also has more money than God. So, like, that's more an excuse, though, alright? But then... think about a game that's smaller. It just doesn't have as many resources, really needs to concentrate those resources. And they go,
fair.
no, you know what? I could spend like 10 hours adding mod support, but I could also spend 10 hours of work time like polishing up this part of the storyline that's a little like on the rougher side, and then I could spend 5 more hours bug fixing the mod support and making sure it all works properly, and a bunch of time implementing it properly on Steam. And then there's curating your mod support, making sure everything is fine. The developer often needs to take additional steps to, like, keep patrolling said workshop after some time. It can be a bit of a mixed bag sometimes. Like, I do think it's more work than people like realize in terms of not just making the workshop on Steam, but also properly making it in your game. Because some games just aren't built for it. And adding mod support can come with a lot of technical concessions that you're making under the hood that might not be obvious. So, for example, you know how some games are incredibly unstable when you mod them? Like, you can do insane things with them, but they're really unstable. And then there are some games where you throw in 200 mods and the thing just chugs along like a beast.
Fair.
Jug.
Yeah. It can be work. When you're
No,
EA,
part of that-
you don't have an excuse.
That also depends on what the mod support looks like. If you're some of those mod supports, like is direct memory access, that sort of thing, those are the ones that tend to crash a lot on various games. But some are, have a good API that has solid foundation of what they get access to.
Yep.
So those ones you can just throw in a bunch of mods and everything works.
So I don't know. I know modding always has like its pros and cons, and it's like good. I don't know. Sometimes I think about this. Like, I think people sometimes mod without thinking, and I think sometimes people really should think more about what they mod and why they do it. One thing that I think people do that kind of just left a bad taste in my mouth is modding a game without consideration for the game itself. Because, like, imagine being a developer. Like, imagine spending thousands of hours working on a game, and you focus on the details. You put everything right down to the level of attention you give it. You pour your heart and soul out into this game, and you go like, yeah, I'm making this for a reason. Like, the blood splatter effects in this game will look this way for this reason. I think it aesthetically fits this way. It's representative of the thematics that I want to give it. I want it to be like this level of violent and gory, but not too much, because I want it to fit this game's narrative, and not like I don't want it to like overtake the scene. Blah blah blah. You kind of get into the nitty gritty there. And then someone boots up your game for the first time, immediately clicks on the workshop and goes, "Oh, look, a lot of blood and gore. I want that." And it's like, you haven't even played that? Okay.
Well, there's
Not like-
also on the other side, developers can do like what RimWorld's developer did. They released a guide of what the... They released a guide about the art style of RimWorld. People are not required to follow it with their mods. However, most developers do, or most mod devs do. They take those principles in mind and create more for the game. So, it's kind of... I definitely agree with you. Play the game first as it is, vanilla. But I would not say necessarily that modding a game is...
It's not bad.
Yeah.
Most of this, like, mind you, is exactly what you said. Like, I think at least people should play the game first. It just like the thing the friend did the other day, like, it insta triggered me into like, I've had this thought for a while, but I never knew why it got to me, and now I understand why it gets to me. Because, like, I feel like you should play the game at least for the first time. And mind you, even like, just on a personal level, I think it's just good to engage in a little bit of like discovery and exploration in terms of like, oh, you know what? I know I want this experience because I like this in a game, but maybe this game can show me something new or different. So allow the game to, show you something new or different. Don't immediately try to make the game more the way you want it to be. Well, don't go installing a Star Wars mod on a game with its own sci-fi vibe and vibe. You don't have to make this cool sci-fi game into Star Wars. It has its own thing for a reason. Maybe let's do that.
But
Also because it's really cool.
another point, Hard Space Shipbreaker does not have modding support at all. And yet, that game is so beloved by a lot of people, and they just want more. But the developers aren't giving us more. It's like, I want more ships to deconstruct. But they're not letting me have more ships to deconstruct. Like, come on. Please.
You have already so many people requesting all this stuff, and you're not. Just come on.
Let the community do it for you.
I mean, it's just up to the dev. I can kind of understand if a dev just goes like, I'm done with this game, I don't want to keep working on it. I know you like it, but I don't want to keep working. I kind of understand that.
It might also be a publisher saying that, like, hey, we can sell DLC for this.
I'd be okay with them selling DLC if they ever actually did so. That is one game that I would happily pay for DLC on.
You know, maybe the developers didn't put it out there. The publishers trying to push for the DLC, but the developers are like, fuck it, we're done. We don't want to deal with this anymore.
Who knows?
I'm just assuming the game doesn't. Probably the developers are working on something else.
I've heard that they are wanting. I've heard a lot of stories about it, but supposedly there is another game that isn't going to be Shipbreaker, but set in the same universe. Ooh. I'm hoping that is a thing and it comes out, but I don't know. It hasn't been confirmed.
Hard water submarine breaker?
Oh yeah,
no. It'll still be hard space. It'll be just not the Shipbreaker part.
No. These people are busy. Yeah, ever since making Hard Space Shipbreaker, they've also made an RTS, Minecraft Legends, and Homeworld 3. Okay, these people are busy. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's like they made it such an interesting world, too. It's like, I want to explore this world. Let me get in that ship that I finished building at the end of frickin', let me get in the ship that I finished building at the end of Shipbreaker and go scavenge for other wrecks or something. I don't care what it is. I just want more. Or at least give me mods.
Me, mod.
But yeah, I do think there's also...
I was going to say, at this point, you don't know how much of that kind of knowledge is lost. I mean, their code may not be well documented. It just don't remember how stuff worked. You know,
I almost get...
Trying to spin that back up is going to be a lot more difficult now.
You're also absolutely on the right track, though, so they had several rounds of layoffs multiple times. So, definitely. The video game industry is fine and normal. It's completely normal for everything to be going all right with a developer, and suddenly they get like 2-3 projects canceled and they have to lay off a bunch of people. Totally normal. See, they're probably right.
Oh, it's Hi-Fi Rush that won all kinds of awards. Then Microsoft canned the entire development crew, and then the next day came out in a press conference saying, "Hey, we wish there were more small developers like this."
Yeah.
So, funny thing you bring up DLCs and stuff. I bought a DLC for a game that I'm playing. I was confused why it wasn't working. Turns out I had to go download other stuff that wasn't part of the DLC package that I bought So I just uninstalled the game for no reason.
No rip.
Nag, nag, nag. Kindness, kindness, kindness.
I
yeah.
betrayed myself.
So I was actually gonna say, by the way, it's actually kind of like an interesting thing that I had kind of thought about. It's sort of like it's understandable because I've had that. I've had games that I love and I wanted to play forever, and I want this game to get more content so I can keep playing it. And I honestly sometimes wonder, like, whether this is an effect of the current state of the video game industry, or whether this is just a normal thing. Because, like, for example, to use another industry that's a really easy one, when it comes to movies, you like a movie. The movie's really good. It gives you like something new, something you never realized you wanted, and it's like, this is great. I love this. I want more of it. Yes. And then another really good movie comes along and it like breaks your brain. And it's like, yes, I like this movie. You kind of forget about the old one. It's still a good movie. You still love it, but like, now you're focused on the new one. And you keep getting new movies like that, and it's good. But then you enter like those dry spells of movies, and it's like there's nothing to watch. And then you just kind of keep remembering those movies. You're like, I want more of this. Can they just release a sequel? And I think about it with games sometimes, and I kind of wonder if like the current atrociously bad state of the video game industry, where everything is too expensive, everything is early access, everything is incomplete, developers are treated like shit, and corporations steal all the money, and publishers are garbage, and everything sucks, and everything is like almost designed to stifle creativity and make video game development as hard as possible by developers. Or even as much as there's a lot of quality indie games out there, let's face it, being an indie game developer is not exactly a good career unless you get a little bit lucky. Because hard work and skill isn't rewarded. It takes a little bit of right place, right time.
Rex has brought foobs.
Yay.
Which are
Yay, foob.
delicious.
Korean crispy fried barbecue.
Give it a
Remember,
bite
hash
and it's
browns.
like,
Oh
yeah.
boy. Thank you.
That means
Now, what
the
are
other
you
three
eating?
of you.
What are you eating? Okay. He's done that before to me.
Giving you food and not eating.
Yeah.
And that's when you sit him down on your lap and pet his head and eat together. Unless that would incentivize him to do that more. Then you make a habit of eating together, and that would be really cute.
We do often.
Adorable.
It's good that you got someone that's cooking.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess just that, like, sometimes I just wonder if, like, sometimes the desire to make games last forever and be very community accessible is also just born out of the current really terrible state of the video games industry. And, like, if it was a better, more dynamic, more responsive, more active, healthier industry, if it just, like, we would often feel that need to, like, mod a game for forever to kind of go away a little, and we just, like, focus on new releases. Because that's some things that it's good to keep good games alive, but sometimes I kind of wonder, like, how many cool new games are being released that I'm not playing because I'm playing this for like the 7th time. And sometimes I do play those new games and I get a really neat experience and a really pleasant surprise, and I'm like, this game is amazing. I can't believe I didn't play it before. Cobalt Core kind of gave me that, like, I really love this game. Oh my god, I never knew I wanted something like it, but I'm loving it. Shout out to Cobalt Core. I absolutely love the little game. It's also really cute, and it has like little furry creatures, and they're adorable. It's like FTL, but based and turn-based. So based, but turn-based, so double-based. And it's like, damn, like, how many times have I played something over and over again? And I enjoy it, and it's fun. But I could be discovering something new and, like, cool. It's like the equivalent of being like, damn, almost all the good pizza places nearby are kinda really expensive, and I kinda don't want to go there. Maybe I'll just order the same old pizza as always. But then I think, like, if I had more disposable income and I could just casually walk out to eat like twice a week and not be like super hurt financially. If I could just go to those pizza places and grab food, like I could be, getting new cool pizza that I never knew I wanted, instead of Domino's because it's ungodly cheap right now. Because they always have like a $7 for any item on the menu, so you can just order 2 large pizzas for $7 each, which is like, yes, money.
Yeah, Domino's isn't my favorite, but we keep ordering there because of that very reason.
Yeah. I actually
That's
like
little
this,
sleazies for me. Well, when they were still $5 walk-ins.
Oh yeah, Little Caesars.
Little Caesars, actually, I'm gonna give them credit. I don't know what Little Caesars nearby is doing, but the local Little Caesars are really, really good. They've gone back to doing that thing where, like, when you order food, instead of just putting it on the countertop or just like putting it on the really terrible heat lamp, they put it in this like proper heated space so it stays warm. You have to like go do the code thing and retrieve it, and you can do it without bothering the employees and everything. You just walk in.
Yeah,
and go out and it's
the
properly
big
warm.
heater tower. Yeah, I've seen that a lot of them now.
Yeah, they're going back to that, and it's like they actually. I don't like how greasy it still is, but it's better than it was, and it's like it tastes really good now. I was very
Yes.
pleasantly surprised by our local Little Caesars,
Little sleazies is a good guilty pleasure.
and they lowered the prices. That's what I'm amazed about. They raised quality and they lowered prices. What the fuck? Since when do companies do that?
When they realize
When they
that
got
they're doing
smarter?
better.
Yeah, I don't know. The other thing that baffled me, right, is like, okay, I can only assume they were on the downturn, and at least the local places, they decided to pick back up, because, like, I'm gonna admit, like, I hate the local Domino's, because they underpay their delivery drivers so bad that nobody wants to work for them, so every time it's like, hey, can I order Domino's? Yeah, it's a 2-hour wait time. I'll just go pick it
Oh,
up, thank
yeah.
you. Right, I assume that happens to you, because as far as I know, Domino's everywhere pays their drivers terrible, so nobody wants to drive for Domino's.
Every company pays their wait staff and delivery drivers terribly because they put the effort of paying their employees on the consumer.
Right.
Forced tip nonsense.
And I hate it. Doubly so, because now I'm not only paying for their employees, I'm also going to pick up their food. I'm only lucky that, like, it's very close by, and that's the only reason we really get it, because otherwise we wouldn't. Little Caesars was at least smart about it, because they just decided, why are we paying delivery drivers? Just let Uber Eats take care of it. So they just outsourced it.
I really do
I'm-
not like Uber Eats or Grubhub or all those other places because, yeah,
I'm not a fan of them. I hate all of them. I hate the fact that you can just outsource the thing to these people, and like, not only are there barely any safeguards and safety regulations, that kind of stuff, and there's barely any accountability to the thing, and then like, oh, I made a wrong order through a DoorDash, and now I want to cancel the order, but they can't cancel it because the restaurant started preparing it immediately, so they only give me the delivery feedback, and then I have to talk to the rest. This is just like a nightmare. Just give me a delivery driver from the restaurant. It works for like, oh, look at this like 2-person pizza place. Yeah, doing delivery that way for them makes sense. Like, I can at least see a better argument there. And honestly, if these companies treated their drivers like proper employees and did them good, I could see a better argument for that. But they don't. It's just a way to like cheapen out labor and make it like terrible. And the thing that I like about Little Caesars is that they at least had like the ability to go, you know what, if we're gonna treat them terribly and nobody wants to work for them, and our delivery is so bad that nobody uses it, might as well just do the app. Because honestly, yeah, if your delivery employee position is so terrible that nobody wants to work for it, I just will get rid of it. At least I can order Little Caesars.
I know I ordered Little Caesars back when I worked security. And this was moderators, which I think is only you, Gab.
Okay, I gotcha.
Step.
I ordered it during when I was working security, and the delivery driver stopped in the middle of the road. And I went to the wrong place on the campus, stopped in the middle of the road, and I'm like, okay, I know where you are. I'll come to you. And got over there, saw them in the middle of the road, and I'm like, hey, can you come park at this parking spot literally right here? No, I can't do that. Okay, well, can you bring it to me over here? I'm right here. No, I can't. Okay, because she didn't want to do face to face, so I'm like, okay, you could leave it on the hood of my car, or leave it on the sidewalk right there. I don't care. Just give me my damn food. And then she just took off with my food.
Was it during COVID?
Yeah.
That
Okay.
yeah, COVID.
Right.
But even still, it's like she was being completely unreasonable on all this, and I know she would not have gotten into any trouble for it if not for the fact that, well, I ordered more than $20 worth of food, and I had some cop buddies in the parking garage right next to where she was. I'm like, hey guys, go bust her for stealing my food, please. You can keep it. I'll take it up with Little Caesars, but yeah.
Once had a delivery driver trying to give me their food while I was out walking my dog because I happened to be walking in front of the house that they were delivering to. And when I'm like, I'm just walking my dog, I don't live here. They're like, oh well, you know, do you know who lives here? Can you take it up to him? I'm like, I'm just walking my freaking dog. Like, what the hell?
You're breaking up. What the heck? But, I mean, yeah.
4 a.m. here, so I'm gonna log out. But thank you for letting me come in chat.
Okay.
Sleep well.
Sleep well.
Yeah. You all be good, and remember, eat or be scolded.
It's too late. I'll leave tomorrow.
Oh,
Oh no, someone's gonna
Oh,
die.
no.
Oh no.
the scolding. Have a good one, all.
Good night.
Night.
Good night.
I might eat eggs and bread. Egg sandwich.
But yeah, it's like, none of this stuff has any accountability. There you are, Raijin. I told you to come hang out earlier.
What's it?
Well, I guess I said feel free to join voice anytime, but still.
Hi, Reggie.
It was not a demand, so.
You see, son?
Hello?
You see?
Hi,
You have to
we can hear
demand
you.
Raijin join you. I joined you voluntarily. All I'm saying is look at the friends you're picking up.
I've still got like 300 tabletop videos to listen to. Excuse me for trying to make time for it.
Not allowed. Clearly.
Yeah, we're talking about delivery drivers right now.
I was gonna ask.
Oh, I delivered pizza for a while.
So I was gonna ask it really quick before. Was this through like one of those apps, like those delivery services, or was this through like their proper delivery drivers?
So this was Little Caesars. They don't have actual delivery drivers.
Yeah. So that's the thing too, right? Because to me, the core difference just comes down to the same thing it always has, right? If you're doing this as like a little two-person family restaurant, a lot more understandable. You just don't have the money to like hire proper delivery drivers. You might not be able to output the volume you need, or you might not be able to deal with the regulations of having another employee. Yeah, I can kind of understand it more in that sense. If you're someone like Domino's, you have the money to hire a delivery driver and pay them well. You have the ability to very easily hold these people accountable. And half the time, I am 99% sure that if you just hired a good driver and you paid them well and you just let them do their job and you don't giga pressure them to make every delivery possible because you hired a reasonable amount of them, you would have a fine delivery service and it wouldn't be a problem. Or at least if you told me like, hey, we have a delivery service that's shared between like a bunch of these restaurants or a bunch of these places, and this is how it works. It's not quite to the same level of like Uber Eats, but just like a general shared delivery service. Okay, I can kind of also understand it because you at least hold these people more accountable. Because yeah, we've had some pretty shitty delivery drivers, and then other ones that are perfectly great, absolutely zero issue, stellar service. I've had some of them go like above and beyond and out of their way. But the variability in quality is the problem, not really, the fact that they're doing or the fact that I get a good one or a bad one. They should all be good. I don't need them all to like be excellent. Because if you told me some of them went like, oh, okay, I don't know what to do here, this order's too complicated, I'm not going downstairs, bloop, canceled. Fair enough. We have a weird situation. I don't blame you for canceling. You had to wait like 5 minutes and you didn't even understand what was going on. My bad. But and I'm always still marked by the time like a few years ago that there was a pizza place that went like, the minimum wage in this state is terrible. Pizza places in this area pay terrible. You know what? I'm gonna raise the salary of everyone here to $15 an hour. Which, mind you, this was a few years ago, back when $15 an hour was worth a lot more. And they literally got thousands of job applications. Because yeah, if your local McDonald's is paying like $10 an hour, and your local Domino's is paying like $10 an hour, and you start paying $15 an hour, suddenly everyone wants to work for you, and you have the pick of the litter. Like, you can pick the good people here. You can pick people and give them quality work. And they're people who are going to be interested in doing a good job because they want to keep a good job.
They want to keep the good money.
Right. Like, I don't know. I know why. The answer is always just capitalism in the end. But, like, come on, can't we have good things sometimes? Can't people be paid good wages? Like, I don't need them to be rich. I just, you pay them good and they'll do a good job for me and I'll be happy. You just need to take home a couple less mega yachts a year.
Listen,
Yeah.
if someone... Sorry, go ahead, Zim.
I was gonna bring up one of those things though. I've seen a couple of places where multiple businesses, instead of going through Uber Eats or Grubhub, where there is no accountability and all that, they went and started basically their own little sharing service of all these little restaurants work together, sharing their the same delivery drivers, and it works. And it's a better experience for the companies, it's a better experience for the employees and for the customers, because there's accountability. It's like, hey, this person really fucked up this delivery drive, we're firing them. Meanwhile, Grubhub or Uber Eats, Grubhub's somewhat okay. They have, I feel like they've got better standards than the rest, but Uber Eats will literally just take whoever the hell they can. They really will.
You know what's great? I don't even have to deal with that anymore. A few years ago, Uber Eats just bugged out because we had an issue with the card at one point. And Uber Eats had a massive leak of credit card information if you had it saved. And ever since that, our Uber Eats account, at least mine, just doesn't work. I can't pay anything on Uber Eats. It just breaks. And the same happened with Grubhub. The only place that works for me is DoorDash, unless I order Grubhub over the computer. That's it. They're all just broken. I never deal with Uber Eats. Sometimes I deal with Grubhub. Usually I handle with DoorDash. If only because they actually work.
On the other end of that, you have like Calzone Life. They're one of the pizza guys I mean, they're basically pizza guys. That's all it is. But you can only order through delivery. You can't even show up to the store and pick up the stuff. Even though it's made in the same place, it's the same store, it's the same everything else, same ingredients, even the boxes are the pizza guys'
Oh.
boxes and everything.
Those are ghost kitchens, yeah.
Yeah, but if you want their stuff, you have to order it through DoorDash. What the hell?
That's why it's a
I'm
ghost
going
kitchen.
there to pick up a pizza anyway. Like, we just pick the damn thing up.
Yeah, that's why it's a ghost kitchen, because they basically don't exist. Or they exist, they just hide things. Like, oh, look at this super neat restaurant. It looks delicious. Look at these images. Look at this menu. Look at this variety. Oh, it's just Denny's.
Yeah. I mean,
That is literally the case in some of them, though.
I know because one of them, like, Fetch kept looking at it and he told me, like, oh, this place looks so good. Oh, blah blah blah, it's so good. Yada yada. And I one day, just out of curiosity, I'm like, but it looks too good to be true. Why haven't I ever heard of it? Oh, it's just Denny's.
oh,
And looked at images of the food, and it was like, oh, look at this amazing grilled cheese sandwich. This looks incredible. And then I look at it, and this is like this burnt lump of bread, and it's like, oh, sorry, go ahead.
I know that before I had to get shipped off from basic and stuff, my dad was going to drop me off, and he decided, hey, let's go ahead and get dinner before I have to drop you off at the hotel that you're staying. We tried so hard to find the supposed Chick-fil-A that was nearby. It was a ghost kitchen.
Amazing. My phone.
So how's work going over there for you, Raijin?
It's going okay. We had to do the spices mod today, but fortunately it was a minor update, even though the computer said it was supposed to take 20 hours. So it wasn't too complicated. Right now I'm sitting in my car drawing on lunch break.
Ah, fun.
So, time for more TF?
It's not even Tuesday anymore, is it? It's Wednesday.
So?
Jeez, you do one thing for a Sable Rune, he gets addicted to your art.
I do have a problem. It's just so much fun with the TF thing. Like, I knew it would be
I'm
fun,
going
but
to-
I didn't realize it would be this fun, and now I want all the TF forms.
I'm going to get another one done for you soon, but I can't work on it while I'm at work. Because this tablet is for other projects.
Oh.
Ooh.
Hey, Beerus. I am very intrigued. And excited. And now I am back to Human.
Aw.
But yeah, a big problem that's going on with all of the Uber Eats and DoorDash and just all the ride sharing in general, because we had zero interest rates, it was really easy for startup companies to get loans, which was great for tech. But when it came to like DoorDash and Uber and etc., this was kind of abused to make deeply unprofitable companies whose sole purpose was to dominate an entire market share of something, which, because they were able to do things in such a competitive way, even though it wasn't necessarily healthy for the workers, they dominated the market so much. That's kind of why we lost like the traditional delivery driver in a lot of places.
Look, to be fair, I now have hope for the future once more.
How so?
This is the year of unions.
Yes, I'm very hopeful for that, for the general workforce. Yeah.
Like, okay,
Yeah, I
know,
mean,
like,
eventually these companies that like thrived on the fact that they could get really cheap loans are going to die away because they can't do that stuff anymore.
I mean, not even.
We'll
for that,
eventually
it's
have a
just,
bit of a market reset.
like, not even like in the sense. It's just that like okay, I know, like stinky and all, but like the United Auto Workers Union, the leader, he got to speak at the DNC, and he was given like a full like 10 minutes to speak, which is insane. Like the leader of one of the largest unions in the US being given a full like speaking position in a main like political event is insane. And if like you kind of look at the current trend of like work organization in the US, it's becoming really like an actual force. Like there's a lot of behind the scenes reforms and organization going on. And I actually like it gives me a lot of hope because a lot of the times this kind of abuse of workers comes because companies can get away with it. Because it's really different when your delivery drivers are unpaid, unsecured, and like okay, cool. Like DoorDash gets to get away with this. Not just because they get to do it cheaply, they get cheap loans, they get beneficial market forces working in their favor to do it, to dominate the market, but because at the end of the day, what's their competition? Like, what's the difference really between Domino's having its like 1 out of 5 driver slots hired, so they take 2 hours to deliver food, and they're always in a rush, in a hurry, they barely get directions straight, they're underpaid, they look sad, they look miserable. Oh, I mean, it's not really a pleasant delivery experience. And he probably gets it wrong and leaves. And then you look at DoorDash, and sure, it's hit or miss, but at the same time, at least I'm getting my food most of the time. So is there really a difference between, oh, I have to wait 2 hours so the delivery driver is miserable and in a hurry, or 8 out of 10 deliveries are fine and 1 out of 10 times I get my food stolen and I just get a refund? Like,
Another
okay,
thing with that,
that's your competition. But, sorry, just to finish the point. But if you at least had well-paid workers with good working conditions and stable employments who could at least be like, yeah, here is your delivery. 25 minutes, no issues. Have it, go, done. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, no problem. Okay, that makes a difference. But you can only really get that when workers organize and actually fight for their jobs and their rights and the ability to be able to have a stable job in life.
well, another thing with that too, though, is because I used to work at Pizza Hut and I was delivery driver for Pizza Hut, and actually even now, okay, well, now I will say it's the second best job I had because the first best job I had is art. But it was like I actually really, really liked delivering pizzas, and I lived in a location where I got really good tips, to the point where I was making well beyond minimum wage, even though there's the whole thing with tipped wages where like technically you can pay your workers as low as like I don't know, it was like $2.11 at the time because they were tipped, and you just had to cover. If they reported that they didn't get enough tips to make minimum wage, then the company would have to cover it to bring them up to minimum wage. But with being actually employed at Pizza Hut or Domino's or something like that, you are on the clock with them, which means you can't go and do other work between deliveries. What a lot of these people that are doing the ride sharing stuff, they'll be part of all of them. They're part of all of the options, and they're just filtering through trying to find the best options or the most efficient routing or whatever to maximize their time. And that's how they get like the really good money from it as a driver in a delivery hub. But it's still not a good deal for the workers when that's going on.
Yeah, because like,
It's still very much abusive.
to be fair, I can understand if you had like, well, the job exists as a courier. Like some people just take deliveries. Like, hey, I need you to deliver this thing here. That's an actual job, and that's fair. It works for some people, but I genuinely, unironically think even a job like delivery driver with the right work environment is a pleasant job. Like there's nothing wrong with it. You can enjoy it. In fact, we need these people in our society. Like, I know it's all silly to say like, oh, Pizza Hut delivery driver is important. Not in the sense that it's like society important, but we need cashiers, we need pizza drivers, we need waiters and waitresses. They do an important job because without them, it doesn't work. Like we need them in our society. And I can understand if you want to tell me like, okay, you know, Pizza Hut delivery driver shouldn't be the highest paid job in the world. Fair enough. But shouldn't a Pizza Hut driver be able to earn a livable wage and just clock into work, clock out at the end of the workday, have an okay workday, not be living miserably, and do a good job? Isn't that what we'd want? Wouldn't that be more pleasant than every day being at the mercy of whether or not people order or tip and having to, like you said, handle 7 different delivery apps and services that you're all subscribed to, doing a bunch of weird quick mathematics on the fly, trying to figure out, okay, what's the most optimal route, blah 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 blah, I'm gonna do this is that, and yada 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 yada, okay, I'm gonna do this, go here, go there. It's like, because I know I've seen people like what you mean. Like I've seen people with like 3 phones all on different delivery apps, and they always look incredibly stressed out. It's like that's not fun. It's not good. I don't think it's good.
Oh, it's also really annoying when you have like settings on DoorDash and stuff, especially when you're living on military posts and you're letting them know, hey, you have to have access onto military post, and people don't read.
Well, of course not. They just care about the money.
It's really annoying because it's like, while I was going through AIT, I never got access to be, hey, I can leave the...
Oh no!
Oh no.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Something went kaboom.
I lost the ZGF hash brown!
How
Not
do you
the
lose
hash brown.
Wait, what happened? How do you lose it?
Enemy ship.
The station managed to, I guess, get some lucky shots in and just annihilated the thing.
Damn. Are you gonna reload?
I mean, it was just my fighter, but... It's not my main ship, at least.
We can rebuild and we have the technology. Or you built the hash brown.
I definitely have plenty of the resources.
Yeah, no, I'll just admit, I'm optimistic. I think at the heart of it, having things like labor unions is a good thing. And the fact that right now they're getting a lot more influence, spotlight, and favorability in the political arena is a very good thing. It gives me a lot of hope for the future. The fact that Bethesda...
Sorry, I just want to say, I really wish that I could tell the crew of a different ship to do the repairs. You know, like, tell my shield to go up behind my capital ship and just do all the repairs with its crew while these guys are still fighting. But I can't.
Yeah, you could turn off the repairs for the crew.
Yeah, but that causes some issues.
Yeah, you know what your crew exiting when they have to be like transferring power. Or reloading your weapons. Or refueling your engines or your shields.
Or whatever the hell else I need them to do.
I mean, that's pretty much the most important ones in combat. I don't know what else you want.
I really
No
like this
shooting.
Book of Ix.
You should aim your shots at the reactor and bam. Like, just carve a path into the reactor. The enemy ship.
These particular guns, I'm more about wanting them to keep their distance where they are. And if I tell them to target a specific spot, they may move. And right here, I'm outranging this thing enough to be able to fire. Yeah, I'm gonna get less resources in the end, but I think I got enough resources as is.
Fair enough. When are you gonna put factories on the Zim truck?
On the shield? Eventually.
Yeah, we can call it the shield, sure. On the space truck, there we go.
We call it the shield, but it doesn't have enough crew to keep its shields up.
I mean, it's true, though.
I am slowly doing damage to this thing, so I'm content to just sit here and, let my guns fire and do their thing, and also, as far as the shield goes, eventually we'll have enough crew.
You ever sometimes, like, see a post and, like, it's someone you know, but, like, it's not their avatar, it's not them related to them at all, you just see the vibes and it's like, this is the person, this is this person. Like, uncannily accurate to that person. That's terrifying. But also, it's a really hot Lycan rock, so I'm gonna send it to them anyway.
Ooh, Lycan Rock is nice.
Instant interest. And I'll go post it somewhere.
We're furry trash, what do you expect?
I'll go post and then adult picture just basically.
Oh my god, why did every single one of...
What happened?
Literally every single crew member on this ship left their post to go do the repairs.
That's so amazing.
It's like, oh, you want us to repair? Okay, everybody out!
Move. Private, I'm not paying you to stand around. Move.
At least I've got a lot of things that are automated, and it looks like some of them are coming back, but still! Oh, hey, the shield is getting involved on the...
I don't think your other ship is even firing now.
Oh, because all of their crew left as well to go help with the repair. God damn it.
God, lovely.
And none of the crew actually made it to the other ship before it was fully repaired.
So
You
fun.
imagine being in the enemy ship and you just see a massive exodus as the entirety of both ships' crews leave.
Just
One of-
couple armor plates.
Yeah, it's just like you build a little bit of bolt in you, just boom, 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 done. Hit a wrench on the side of the ship, and you're just staring, trying to gun them down, hopelessly outraged. Like, what's happening? Are they surrendering? Is it over? Like, and they all just fly back in unison into the ship, unabandoning the ship. Yeah, let's go back to firing. What? It must be so confusing.
Alright, let's move just a bit closer so more of my guns can fire.
Famous final words.
Oh, I know. This is gonna be a terrible idea. But
Yep,
here we
just get
go!
closer so all of its guns can fire.
To be fair, the shield's got a lot of defenses. And while they won't be able to withstand a long-term assault, they can certainly do a little bit.
What I'm wondering, if anything, is why not put the, like, it's a triangular ship, so why not make it face towards the front? I guess
Most of the guns are side-facing. It may be a triangular ship, but the design of the ship itself is primarily broadside. When did I wind up a fossa?
I just love it. It's like, I made a triangular ship, and then I took the strength of a triangular ship and turned it into the weakness of a broadside ship.
Oh, I love broadside ships.
I mean, me too.
But this was the original, this was the design of this ship originally. I just added a few more guns and removed some of their weird pathing and such. This one is direct fire. So this one's set up as more of like a more of a sniper, because it's got really long range guns.
And look, to be fair, I love broadside myself, but like, you can't deny there's something to be said about having like a wedge-shaped ship, and you just get into range, and the entire ship's batteries just unload on the enemy. Everything.
True.
So it's kind of satisfying. You've seen like Star Wars Rogue One, right?
Yes.
It's like the scene at the end, the Darth Vader ship arrives and it just deletes everything in front of it. Just like,
The lovely force
or
removal of the world.
Or I don't know if you've seen the TIE Fighter like short film.
I do not know.
Yeah, you're probably gonna see it if you don't know. But it's the one that's like animated, like anime style animated, like old school vibe. Probably hand animated, I guess. It's years old. Damn, it's so beautiful.
What's up?
I just love little short films. Like it's old, but it's like so beautiful.
Oh
And
yeah.
it's fan made, because of course it is. Somebody just casually spent years making it.
Well, a large portion of this station is now destroyed, so that's a plus.
Then when I made the comment about the hot lichen rug, I posted it 5 minutes ago, and I was already looking into my DMs about 5 minutes before that. I think you've genuinely been finding the station for like 15 minutes, 10-15 minutes.
I don't think 10 or 15, but I could believe 5.
It's been more than 5. You were already like,
It's more than 5.
yeah, it's at least 10 minutes. I would take, I guess.
Who is it saying all this? Prakash?
No?
What?
Give me a second. Does it give Gab?
You don't recognize me?
I'm
You
sorry.
don't know the
it's just-
duck? Oh god! Okay, never
I'm
mind.
sorry, my
Abort that
website.
plan.
Try.
Ah!
Oh no.
Okay, note to self, maybe getting within range of the nuke platform is a bad idea.
Yeah,
Skill issue.
sounds about right.
My mind blanked. I'm empty on the inside today.
If only this game had carriers.
Oh, I know, I would do so much with carriers. Oh. Oh, crap. Oh,
I tried
that
building
thing
a-
is moving. Really fucking slow, but it is moving.
Oh, that is terrifying.
What were you gonna say?
I once tried building a fleet of like just engine, reactor, one person, or two, or whatever, just to send them on suicide missions. They didn't make it.
Yeah. I appreciate how easy it is to build fighters in this game. Or with the Star Wars mod. But God, I wish that they had more... I really wish they had more, like, carriers. I want carriers.
See, okay. I know I talked about Star Cycle and playing this game, but like one of the reasons I love it, right, is because it leans into that whole like carrier versus battleship kind of vibe. And the game literally has an in-lore like in universe there was the whole like, oh, we should do battleships, and then the carriers did really well and they kind of rushed to put out carriers. And what's really neat is because like the vibe of the game is like a post-collapse, like there was this like big spacefaring thing and it collapsed, and the factions are basically the remnants, right, of like what was there before. And one of the neat things is they use different like battle styles, different doctrines, and the different carriers feel very different. So like one of the factions focuses more on like midline, you know, somewhat technical, somewhat simple ships. But their strongest carrier is just a relatively small, fast carrier. It's meant to be maneuverable, it's meant to move around, it has a relatively small complement of like of wings. But that's the point. It's meant to deploy quickly, launch its fighters, hit fast, and be maneuverable enough to kind of keep up with some of the smaller ships and be escorted by like a lot of smaller ships instead of like big ships. And then another one, just like it has battleships and battle cruisers, and a battleship turned into a carrier. Like, yeah, let's just take this battleship, strip out the big guns, and just put carrier stuff in it, and make it launch a bunch of fighters. And it's big, and it's dumb, and it's lumbering, and it's slow, but it's so cool. And then you have another one, which is just, hey, what if we take the most advanced technology and put in a carrier? What if we make like a US nuclear carrier, basically? That's basically what it is. And it's amazing. It's incredible. It's the best carrier in the game. It's just like pure carrier. But it's a terrible thing otherwise. You really need to escort them. And at the end of the day, like, they're cool. They got the variety. But then you have the fighters. And it's like, okay, so what are the fighters in this game? Well, it's shields, it's armor, and it's hull for the enemy ships. So you get through the shields, you hit the armor, you get through the armor, you hit the hull. They run out of hull, they die. So what do the fighters do in particular? Oh, you have fighters that are shielded, fighters that are unshielded, fighters that have EMP weapons to take down shielded fighters, fighters that don't, that just have machine guns and act as point defense. You have bombers that will launch like a 2-stage weapon that like they'll launch a torpedo that launches an EMP blast and then launches a fast-moving missile at the enemy. So like the EMP blast takes down the shield and the missile hits the enemy, and it's all kind of wild-ass things, and it's like, damn, that's really cool. And then I look at sometimes things like Star Wars, and it's just, oh look, they have X-wings.
Oh no, Star Wars... Well, I mean, that's definitely all they really show off.
Yeah.
Like, they are very proud of their iconic...
I know they have more.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it kind of fundamentally gets into the same thing, which is just, this has little lasers and some of them have torpedoes. And then some of them occasionally do really cool things. Like, for example, I'm really partial to like the Jedi fighter, because I think it's a really cool one. Like, yeah, you have these like godly beings with supernatural reflexes. Yeah, give them the most like insanely maneuverable, agile fighters. So like, it requires such precision and such insane reflexes that basically only they can pilot it without immediately crashing and dying. But it leans perfectly into their abilities. Yeah, I kind of think that. That's a cool concept. Or what about this bounty hunter? What does he do? Oh, he takes these giant mining charges meant to break apart asteroids, and then they just go blow and explode everything around them. They're actually really terrible to use on a big battlefield because like they don't really do damage in a 3D plane, just in a 2D. But it's perfect for bounty hunting if you're really accurate with them. Oh, she finally won.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take the way you spent 12 minutes since I posted the Lycan Rock, so it's probably been
Where's the
closer to 20
Lycan Rock?
minutes
I
since we
haven't
started
seen
fighting.
it.
Put it in the
Hey.
adult chair.
Um,
Dark chair. Like you actually took close to 20 minutes to finish this battle. Jesus.
Oh, that
What
is
the fuck
nice.
is it? I know, right?
it's an adult art share.
It's not like NSFW, but I want to be careful. I don't post it forever. I need to make sure I don't get banned. And delimited. Exactly. See, that's the thing. They did, but they didn't. So, on one hand, to be fair, Star Wars actually deals with that concept specifically of like automation versus like organic, or like the force against like a machine, and that's why you have like droid assassins that are capable of basically killing everything except really skilled force users. Because when you can kind of see the future, you might be a super droid, but you can see the future, and you have like supernatural reflexes, and you have the little like powers that be whispering in your ears trying to prevent the plot from getting derailed. So Okay, but tell me that's basically what the force is. Tell me that's not just what the force is.
I can't. You're not wrong.
Exactly. Because, yeah, there are cases of like, oh, look at this Jedi hunting droid specifically designed to kill Jedi. Anyway, here's this whole story arc about how the Jedi overcame the Jedi hunting droid by just being Jedi. Huh? Huh. Okay. And I actually kind of do like the sort of midpoint that Star Wars went through, which is that basically, yes, they kind of did. They just kind of didn't lean fully into it, and they used the excuse that since Palpatine orchestrated the Clone Wars, it's not really a fair fight. But the Vulture droids, like the droids that the Confederacy used in Star Wars, are basically that. It's like, so let's take this fighter and let's strip out everything that's needed to keep a human alive, and let's just fill it with weapons, and let's put a chip on it, and let's automate it and make it go zoom. There you go, you have a Vulture droid. And then you run into the Tri-Droid, because the Vulture droid is just made terrible. So, it's just a shitty little thing. Makes sense, it's not quite as advanced, it's probably just not really that great, but it's still pretty good, nifty little thing. And then you get into the Tri-Droid, which is, okay, so what if we take the lack of a human and crank it up to 1,000? And just make it like the most unfairly maneuverable thing we could possibly make it, and also basically make it a cheat code in terms of being extremely advanced. Oh, look at that, we just made a thing that every living pilot is terrified of except for Force users. And that's the Tri-Droid. Everyone's terrified of it, unless you're a Force user, then you just get plot armor.
Never underestimate the power of the plot armor.
So true.
It's the best armor, provides the most DT. The DMDT. Or damage mitigation DT. Or, damn it, my players are stupid and I need them to stop dying DT.
I'm gonna go ahead head to sleep because it's like 3:40 in the morning.
Aren't you gonna ask for permission?
Yeah, please leave the chat so that I may get some sleep.
What do you think, Gib Gab?
Yeah, I'll go to sleep. Don't need it.
Okay.
Probably.
Yes, you may.
Thank you.
Have a good night, specialist puppy.
Night.
I will catch y'all later.
Such a specialist puppy.
Yeah.
Good night.
Night, night, guys. Catch y'all later.
I want to go to work tomorrow. I want to go to work. I want them to hire me before I go to work. Bleh. But yeah, like, okay, I like the reason I just kind of think Star Wars can be a little bit boring, right? Like, and you know, I say this like, I'll admit, like, recently I felt very indifferent towards Star Wars. Like, it's not bad, I just kind of can't be asked to care about it, to be fair. It still just holds a special place. Like, I still love the series, but it's oftentimes I just feel like Star Wars could do so much more. It just kind of like sticks to the theme, which understandable, but also like we can have more cool things, right? You know, just I like to have some more cool things, more cool planes, more cool fighters. You know, we do some more work with them, maybe. No, okay. It's just laser beam and shield, which like that's kind of why I like Star Sector's vibe because it actually mixes a lot more insanity with it. Like, yeah, here you go. You have all sorts of wild, reliable fighters that all do the job. My favorite one is the one that's literally a drone interceptor because you get like 10 of those things together and those suckers will literally destroy any fighters in the battlefield because there's a lot of them and they go zoop and they go pss, and it's like really cool and they take very heavy losses but they can replenish them and you can't replenish the human pilot losses. The Wasp introduces on everyone else is really cool. And the 2-stage kinetic bomber with the EMP is just that's beautiful right there. That's art. That's yes. Give me. And then you have Stellaris.
Oh, Stellaris.
I actually kind of want to play Stellaris, but I don't want to touch it.
Cute.
Yeah, and you got a problem with it?
I don't recall saying there was a problem with it.
Yeah, exactly. Easy money. I win, as always, the victor.
All right. Wah. Wah, 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 wah.
Wow. Wow, 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 wow.
I like adding Razor units to the Stream Raider screen. It's very fun.
Yes. I'm sure you do.
Why is it funny? Can you explain what's funny about it? Do you consider Razor funny? Are you saying Razor is a joke? Judgmental stare.
You okay there, Gib Gab?
I'm never okay. What are you talking about? It's fine. I'm only sleep deprived and hungry.
Go at least get food.
Oh, tomorrow morning. I'll wake up and get food.
Yeah, I finally broke down and threw something in the microwave.
What was that?
I finally broke down and threw something in the microwave.
Bruh, I can't believe you betrayed me.
I mean, I still gotta get up and go get it, but
We were comrades, Brendan. We were supposed to be together to the death. It's like Barra, you know, you're the mechanic, I'm the engineer. You do
You
the
were like a
electrical, I do the
brother
mechanic.
to him.
I loved you, Brendan.
I mean,
Until
technically,
you
I'm
took
still
away-
sitting here on my computer, and the microwave finished beeping, and I have Still over there beeping.
No, I don't want to hear that. Burn it. It's not the same. You used to be my comrade in hunger. We used to be true comrades. The specter of communism raved over us. We hungered and starved. And now not anymore. Now you have food.
Sorry, I have
You
failed
have
you. Conrad, Gib Gab.
And I'm disappointed in you, Burn. Together, we could have conquered the world. Together, we could have accomplished so much. And now I'm alone. You've gone and made your friends. You've gone and set a life for yourself. Perhaps.
Exciting news, then.
What's that?
Since you had that s'mores cup noodles and you liked it, I'm excited to tell you we're gonna start carrying s'mores body cream. So now you can smell the s'mores.
I'm good.
What?
I'll take some of those cock nuts.
Some of the what, excuse me? Oh, look, all I'm saying is if I heard right, I want some of that myself.
You want to explain, Raijin?
Humans pronounced what and when did it get made into a meme?
Okay, so like, whoever at home office makes the label names for all of the products we sell is either very special or making a joke at it. So, for example, we recently started carrying a new flavor of pure protein bars, and the label says PP dick nut or something like that. And then there's a chocolate caramel flavor of some Atkins thing, and it says choc cock nut or something like that.
Bruh. No, that actually has to be on purpose. I can't believe otherwise, bruh. That's a top tier meme right there.
I don't know. I mean, it is a corporate office.
Yeah, when
The
you're
problem
bored
I
and
have with
underpaid.
believing that it's intentional is that there's ones that are absolutely offensive, and I have reported to home office that they are offensive, and they have not been changed. Like, it's not even a joke anymore. It's just outright a bad name for it to be on a label.
Yeah, well, that's why it's gotta be on purpose at this point. Like, okay, it's probably someone labeling them on purpose and corporate being caught. Or someone at a corporate thinks it's funny, and I don't know, they're gonna get fired at some point. They'll like blow up in local news, and somebody will make a report on it, and then suddenly all the attention will crack down on them.
Here, give me a second, and I'll post some of the labels in media sharing so you can see.
Actually, you're probably fine. I really should be leaving here for bed. I stayed up a little past my bedtime because I took a nap at work. But now I need to be leaving.
Well, at least wait for the labels.
Yeah. I want to see Cocknut.
Yeah, so there's a PP nut dick chop. End chop cock 10 count. And those aren't funny labels, the one in the middle, but they're funny deodorant scents.
Bro.
I just love the pee-pee nut doc. Pee-pee nut dick. Yeah, it's great.
I'm uh, oh, we were talking about the labels. Oh, okay. I thought we were talking something else. I was fine. It's good. It's good. It's good. I was about to say I want, but I guess yeah, I do want some of the chocolate nut or something. I don't know.
You okay there?
Totally. Yeah. I'm totally fine. I'm just grabbing my blanket and I'm leaning back in the chair.
I think Big Dad's got what's going on whenever I'm thinking about Razor.
I mean, look. My gender fluidity sometimes strikes and coincides with different moods. Okay, sometimes when my gender fluidity corresponds with very intensely gay moods, it leads to things. Okay, that's all I'm saying. Okay.
I'm sorry, Comrade Gib, but I do have food directly in front of me. I have failed
Traitor
you.
to the cause. You know what? Brandon.
Oh, free ship.
Yeah, it's not even nice.
It's it's definitely not worth it, but I'll take it.
Yeah, the airbag's pretty good.
Not with the way this game works.
I know.
It gets caught in the
over.
crossfire for 2 seconds and it's gonna be vaporized.
Well, an actual fighter to do something, but yeah. Burning. Burning, son. I've been abandoned. Doubly so.
I can't respond because my mouth is full.
Okay, well, no, I just wanted to make sure you were there. Look, I'm not saying that, you betrayed me. I'm just saying I hope you stub your toe. I hope you heat up food in the microwave and it's cold in the middle. I hope you go out and you forget your umbrella and it rains that day. And you know what? I hope it's the hottest day in record again. For you. I'm not saying I'm salty you betrayed me. I'm just saying these would be a series of very funny coincidences to happen.
I mean,
I
I
hope you
don't
step
own
on
an
my leg.
umbrella, so there's that problem. We just had the hottest days on record last month.
Well, I hope you have another one.
For like a week straight, too.
Oh, maybe you should have another one. For abandoning me. I hope a current embarrassed trauma pushes you against the blood crystal. In fact, if only Zim crashed the ship again.
What do you mean if only? That's just gonna happen.
Wow, shots fired.
Oh no, he's
The
right.
worst. Well, yeah, but the worst part is that you are good at driving. Okay, you're horrible at driving for me because you crank up the reactor and down like it was a roller coaster. And the reactor is capable of spooling up and down. The reactor's just not supposed to look like a heart monitor. People say it is, but I just don't think it is. You're actually good at driving. And it just makes your brace for impact. Whenever you say that, I just sit there how much is Zim just being dramatic? How much is Zim actually needing to do it? Or was he just kind of leaning back, typing something on Google, and then he saw the autopilot is doing a funky thing, and he was just oh, I can quickly correct it, but brace for impact. Just continue Googling whatever you were Googling.
There was one time tonight where where we got attacked and But that time we didn't even see it. That time
Yeah,
I
but that
didn't
time
call
you
it
were
out.
distracted.
Um,
Yeah, you were distracted that time, I think, like, unironically.
yeah. But a lot of the time, these things will just pop up. It's like I'm going along and watching the sonar, and the sonar will go over that spot, and it's like, okay, nothing's there, proceed, yeah, you know, continue on, don't need to adjust. And then the second ping goes out, and now we're close enough, and we're like, oh, there's ice right there. Because you don't actually
Like driving
detect
9
the
miles
ice.
an hour.
You don't.
Like-
Actually, that thing does
Go ahead.
not go fast at all. It's just a
Yeah.
matter of you have to be really close to detect ice.
Which is what I was saying, though. Like, you're actually pretty good at driving. So I can't ever help but feel whenever you go brace for impact, and it's either ice or you're just trolling us. Because you're actually really good.
No, when I say brace for impact, it means I only do that for ice, first off. Because, I mean, if we're going to crash into a wall, it's like that usually doesn't do much damage at all, but ice will just tear apart a ship. So that's kind of why I'm like, I should be saying brace for ice or something instead, but impact's just kind of the more natural thing to say.
Rolls up the tongue easier.
Yeah. But yeah, the ice is I'll just be going along and it's like suddenly there's ice, there's an ice spike right ahead, and I am reverse thrusters trying to avoid it, and usually I do, but I still want to give warning because, well, if not, everything's going to be, if I don't manage to avoid it, everything's going to be flooded in seconds.
Mm-hmm. Well, all I'm saying is you drive good and you should keep driving, and also you should reverse while Burning Sun is trying to cross the submarine near the propellers. That's all.
Understood.
If only you had a mechanic. I mean, I do seem to recall all the trouble you guys had doing that mission without a mechanic.
I showed my coworker the picture of Elva hugging Aquarel, and he said, "Aw, it's cute."
What the fuck?
What?
So, apparently this A-Wing, so this big square is where I can build. And the A-Wing, for some reason, is positioned way down here near the bottom corner. And so when I recentered a new blueprint I wanted to build, it put it all the way the fuck over here, and I can't see jack squat because it's out of my current field of view. So I think I'm going to just abandon this one. Oh wait, I think all my places are full on crew actually. But either way, I'm gonna just build a new ship altogether. And then I'll abandon that one. I definitely cuss. Not super often. But I do. I don't avoid it,
How
but
dare you.
when I need to
In this
emphasize a
Christian server?
point. My goddamn fucking Christian fucking server? Yes. Alright, I think this is where I'm gonna go ahead and call it for this evening, though, everybody. I appreciate you all so very much for joining tonight. I really, really enjoyed hanging out with you all. Yeah. I moved around my stuff, and now I'm struggling to figure out where my ending screen is. There it is. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today for Cosmoteer. Check out our website, zgfgaming.com. We've got links for our Discord, Telegram, Mastodon, Blue Sky, Patreon, and more. They are on the website as well as down in the description below through our link tree. Thank you to my patrons, tippers, and subscribers. It is your support that keeps this channel alive and going. I cannot do this without your guys' help and your support, so thank you. Consider becoming a patron over at patreon.com/zgfgaming. It's one of the best ways to support the channel, though you can also do so by sharing the stream around, as well as coming by, hanging out, grabbing packs of cards to stream loots, using our Humble Bundle partner link, or by tipping to the channel directly. But for now, thank you all so much for joining, and I bid you the most fondest adieu.
Night all.